Hi everyone. I'm just gonna do a bit, just update you a bit. They've emptied, well, tried to empty the other day Moria and Karatepe camps. They're sending them to Kavala and other camps around Greece. They say the camps now, Moria will become a detention center. Most of the people are going to Kavala. This is a strategy for the Europeans because they're going to push them up on the next to the Turkish border like that, and there'll be one day, I guarantee, they're going to open the border and just push them straight across. They are pushing people across without giving them the chance to register. They're going to fly back the Pakistanis and people back to their own countries. As I said on the last video, human rights has been destroyed within Europe. The one good thing about everything happening, there's not, most people say there's nothing that good about it, but there is, because now we have people standing up and showing their true colours. They're trying to close Pipka. The mayor of Mytilene is trying to close Pipka. Pipka's been there a number of years. It's been doing a fantastic job, and this is the most vulnerable people, and people that need to register, and mentally disabled children whose mother's in hospital having babies and things like this. Pipka's done an absolutely fantastic job. You have officials now standing up and showing their true colours, which is not a bad thing, because these people will, one day we will have all these people and there will be court cases over this one, and these people will be brought to justice. It happened after the Second World War, and believe me, the inhumane things going on here at the moment, this will go to court. What the European governments have brought out and everything else, it will go to court. I've got paper after paper here from the EU, from the European Commission, all the abuses, all down in writing. They're contradicting themselves constantly. I'm going to read just a few bits out. It's so big I could be here all night. There's papers everywhere. These people that make these rules and laws, in the future we'll have you in court. Because what you've done here is absolutely disgusting. You're destroying all human rights within Europe. Okay, this is just a few bits I'm going to read. The Greek authority needs to develop a clear strategy for forced returns, identifying priority third countries for engagement and addressing shortcomings in their detention system. Frontex should ensure that joint returns flights make regular stopovers in Greece in order to perform return operations. The European Commission, supported by member states, should further step up engagement with third countries to ensure easier readmission of migrants which are not entitled to international protection. Right throughout all these reports, the migrant thing comes up all the time. They don't call them refugees. These people who are fleeing war zone and bombs and everything, they call them migrants. Now, you get this in the press as well. You get it on the TV and stuff. This is sick. This is deliberate. It's sick. These people are from a war zone. I was told the other day that they're not refugees until they've been registered. That's bullshit. They're refugees from a war zone. They're fleeing a war zone. They're fleeing snipers. They're fleeing bombs. They're losing their loved ones constantly. Yeah? They are refugees from a war zone. You tell the people in Syria they're not refugees. The people that are fleeing. And yet the press and the newspapers, the TV, Europe governments keep calling them migrants. It's disgusting. They're calling them migrants deliberately, just to run them down. And this is wrong. The European Commission, supported by member states, should further step up engagement with third countries to ensure easier readmission of migrants which are not entitled to international protection. Human beings are not entitled to international protection. That is disgusting. That is just unbelievable. The result of recent exchanges with the Pakistan authorities were endorsed by the Joint Readmission Committee. As a priority of an important step is now to confirm concretely this positive step with new flights in the following weeks from Greece to Pakistan. Greece should make full use of the possibility offered by the Greek legislation in line with the return directive to maintain irregular migrants in detention for up to 18 months. So you have people leaving a war zone and everything else, and they're going to put them in a detention centre for 18 months. This is what the EU wants. We have Moria left open, is now become a detention centre, which it was a detention centre before. And Moria can take 700 people. 700 people we were getting on a regular basis by 6 o'clock in the morning last spring. Some days towards the end of the season we had 12,000 people come through. So what do we do with all these people? Maybe Frontex can come in with helicopters and things, and they can just hop them back across, you know, or NATO can sink the boats out there, and NATO can put them back across, you know, have these big warships out in the channel now. The other day we have NATO out here, we have Frontex out here, we have the Greek Coast Guard. Now this is nothing against the Greek Coast Guard, they've done a fantastic job over the years, they've saved a lot of people. And you have the Turkish abusive Coast Guard. There's been so many documented evidence against this, is unbelievable. And yet a boat still came through with 110 people on board. Incredible. Yeah. All this money wasted because of the right-wing governments of the EU. It is absolutely ridiculous. What the EU done now. And, you know, when I went to England the other week, I was so disgusted that the lack of publicity in England, the lack of help in England, it was unbelievable. You know, people of England, the Green parties, the Labour Party, and people like this, you should be standing up for the human rights here. You should stand up for human beings, you know, because I went on a march in Parliament, outside the Houses of Parliament, in Parliament Square, and up to Westminster Bridge, and we then went back to Trafalgar Square, and there was about 70 people only. You know, it's so disgusting, it's unbelievable. The left-wing parties should be stopping what's happening here within Europe, all over Europe. All the left-wing parties, the Green parties, all the socialist parties should be out there on the streets. Yeah? They should be out there stopping this. Because we have just lost all human rights within Europe. Everything. These people sitting in offices making this shit, this paperwork, and the bullshit they're coming up with is disgusting. They are destroying your rights as a human being. They are destroying the rights of any refugee, any vulnerable person completely. If you're vulnerable these days, you can be put in prison for 18 months, you can be beat up, you can be sunk at sea, and everything else, and no one will say nothing because of these people. These people that make this rubbish. This is disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. These people that make this rubbish will go to court one day. This is history. And these people will come out and we will take you to court. We'll get you to court. And hopefully you will go in detention for 18 months. For the rubbish and what you do against humanity. This is humanity. You are destroying people, helping people. Human beings helping human beings. You are saying, no way a human being is going to help human beings. Now they're targeting the volunteers. The volunteers out here have saved thousands and thousands of lives. They've helped thousands of babies, women, children, men. And now they want to hit the volunteers. And they want to make legislation against volunteers. That's destroying everything about human rights. And if you people don't get up on the streets and protect yourselves, believe me, God help us all. If these people are going to rule, God help us. Yeah? Because these people are ruling and they're making the laws. And this has to stop. These laws have to stop what they're putting in. Okay? All the best, everyone. Bye.